When the body becomes filled with darkness, so does the mind. The mind is darkened because of unbelief and sin, the misuse of agency and consciousness. Earlier in this dispensation, the Lord chastised the members of His church for their unbelief, which caused their minds to become darkened. As we've noted earlier, there will be gross darkness covering the minds of men in the latter days. This darkness, again, is not merely symbolic. It has very real consequences as to the functioning of consciousness and the light of Christ. For example, because Joseph Smith disobeyed the will of the Lord in the matter of giving Martin Harris a portion of his translation of the Book of Mormon, the young prophet's mind became darkened and he lost his gift of translation for a time. This darkness adversely affects the powers of consciousness and the light of Christ. This is the inverse of Attribute 13, where the most efficient use of consciousness and the light of Christ in terms of power is when it is used in harmony with the moral structure of the universe. This is called righteousness. The corollary to this attribute is that when consciousness and the light of Christ are used contrary to the moral structure of the universe, their efficiency and power are diminished. The field effect of power is enhanced or diminished, depending upon the level of harmony with or rebellion against the moral structure of the universe. Sin and wickedness constitute rebellion against God and His commandments. In the larger sense, the devil and those that follow him are enemies to all righteousness, the moral structure of the universe. The object of rebellion against God was and is the obtaining of honor and especially power. The irony is that Satan and his followers lost the very thing they sought, power. They were overcome and cast down by the power of the only begotten. All those who follow Satan, those with carnal minds, are at enmity with God. The carnal mind rebels against the law of God by its very nature. The inevitable outcome of following Satan and his desires is bondage. The devil eventually enslaves all those who follow him. Those who persist in their carnal nature, being enemies to God, fall under the power of the devil. The redemption has no claim upon these. This bondage is a form of demonic possession, whereby the Spirit of the Lord leaves, allowing the spirit of the devil to enter in and take possession, ending in being cast into outer darkness. This captivity is compared to a deep sleep, the sleep of hell, and being bound by awful chains.